I purchased some Oyas off of Amazon, so we're going to give these a shot to see if it helps us with some of our watering outside and some of our plants and keeping them happy and not drying out. So let me get these unboxed so you can see what they look like. Here's everything unboxed. I have 12 of these total, and they are not huge, but this is about the size I wanted for my garden beds anyways. I don't need really massive ones, and the larger you get, the more expensive obviously they get. So I think these will help greatly with some of the watering needs when I start planting a little bit more out in the beds. And it also came with some additional things, this little sponge and these little wooden plant placards. And this, I'm assuming this is to help maybe get down into the soil. I'm not certain. I'll have to take a look and see, but yeah, I think these will work out. We'll put them in the garden and test them out and see how they work. Outside of the Oyos, we also tested out just a regular old lawn sprinkler that we got on clearance for like just a couple bucks. Figured it would help keep our soil moist and not let it lose that moisture to all of the heat. And so one of my other things that I wanted to do is I wanted to also lay down a weed barrier on top of these beds. I know there's some mixed reviews on that, and unfortunately I did all this hard work. I still want to show you, but I did not keep the weed barrier in the bed. There was just too many other different factors going on with it, and it just was not making sense. So I will show you what I used. I used the weed barrier. I held it in place with landscaping pens, which it did keep down perfectly fine. No issues in that regards, but I just decided it's not what I wanted in the end. It was time to start bringing some of these guys outside, and so I was able to bring my mint, my yarrow, a lot of the calendula outside, and also my brassicas to kind of get them hardened off and ready to go into the ground. So we got a little bit of a project going on today. Yesterday I made a bed frame and got a mattress in. because we have some family who are coming to visit here in a couple months or so. And so I'm just trying to get everything kind of ready. And so when I put that together, that we have this really tiny room, and it's not super big. It would be great for a kid. It's not massive, and so there's not a whole lot of room in here. And so what I'm gonna do is I've actually moved the bed frame that I built, and I'm going to move essentially all of my gardening seed starting equipment into that smaller bedroom. So when people come to visit, they have a little bit more space where they can kind of, you know, relax a little bit and aren't just like crammed into this tiny room. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to move all of that myself. And hopefully, you know, there's no back sprains or broken extremities involved in this. So fingers crossed, and let's get to it. Trying to decide if I want to go on my western wall or if I just want to keep it over on this south facing wall, even though there's nothing really behind that other than the bathroom. This one would get the morning heat, and the windows are really crappy old single pane, so I imagine it's going to get a lot of heat coming through, which might be a good thing. It also might get a lot of cold coming through come winter time, so maybe I just talked myself into just keeping it where it's at. So I guess we'll do that. You'll notice on one of my grow lights there that the hue is more of a yellow daylight. Unfortunately, it looks like the blue spectrum must have burnt out, or the wire must have got messed up when I was moving things, and so that one has now just become more of a staging level light. Eventually I will probably be replacing all of these with that top level grow light, because that one has done by far the best. But it was time to get this second shelf done and moved over into the room for some more space. I am pretty glad that I went with the plastic shelving as opposed to a lot of the heavier metal ones. This actually made it way easy for me to get all this stuff kind of moved around and positioned how I wanted it to be. Alright, I'm done, so I'm going to go ahead and just give you a quick little tour. It's still not 100%. It's just got the bed moved in here, got everything moved out, and everything still needs like a cleaning and reorganization a little bit. But yeah, we now have a bedroom for guests. And I've moved everything, including my art studio, actually into here. I was originally going to keep it back in the bedroom, but changed my mind and decided to just go ahead and keep it with the plants. And that way we've got some extra lighting to work in and everything else. So that corner is going to be my art stuff. These paintings are not mine. They're actually a good friend of mine, Jen Poppin, back in Ohio. So I really like her stuff, so I keep it around for inspiration. But let's take a tour of the plant side. So up on the top, I've got some corms that need to get planted soon and started. I've got my heating mats I never used this season. I've got books, things of that sort. My seeds are all there. They need to be reorganized. I need to get a couple more bins to do that. Down here is just tools, miscellaneous, plant food, plant treatment. I've got some of my potting supplies over here, watering supplies. Down here is all of my seed starting stuff. And then on the bottom is just my soils, vermiculite, just random small bag things that I use for seed starting. And then finally over here we have the plants. So everybody did okay with the move. I mean, it wasn't that far, so everybody's doing pretty good. Gave everybody a nice big water, so they should all be doing pretty fantastic. Sweet peas are dying to get out of here. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, they're crazy. They just need to get out of here. They're slumped over, but it's too hot. They don't understand that if they would go out right now, they would just probably burst into flames. So, yeah. Well, I think I had a heat casualty today. These are my marigolds. Unfortunately, they did not fare well. Today was kind of like the last 1-2 punch of the heat wave that we were having here in Arizona. And I know we were going to be like 97, 98-ish, but I'm assuming the heat index must have gotten a little bit worse than that, because these guys, man, they wilted really quickly from being out there just from this morning. This morning they were looking more like these guys, so they're not happy. So yeah, at least I've got this other tray of them. I'm a little surprised. I thought that marigolds were a little bit more hardier than that as far as heat tolerance, but I guess my assumptions were wrong. And that's okay. I still have plenty of seeds if I do want to start some more here soon. I've got a couple others sitting around that were repotted. So not going to fret too much. It is a little disappointing though. I can tell you some of my other things are really struggling too. These guys were also brought in today. These are calendula. They are very droopy, so I did give them a very good watering to see if that would help. Also spritz their leaves to see if that might help a little bit. We'll see. These guys are very dramatic. It's the only way to put it, is they do this outside quite often. So we'll see. We'll see if maybe we can get some of these guys to turn around, but lesson learned. Guess you got to be a little bit careful once we start getting in the upper 90s. Yeah, see what I tell you, they are just so dramatic. After water, they've come right back up, and they're fine. However, it looks like a couple of the marigolds are trying their best to recover. I don't know if they will or not fully. We'll have to see. These guys in the front just look toast. They're not doing anything with the water whatsoever. These guys look a little bit better. We'll see if I can get their leaves to kind of come back. And he's looking like he might make a comeback. We'll see. You'll see that sprinkler running in the shot, and that is, again, to keep the soil moist. I did not have anything in these beds at that time, but I just did not want my compost and my soil to completely dry out. I wanted to keep it, you know, high with moisture in order to make it a great environment for these transplants to get into. On those really hot days in the 90s, I would come out during the day and just kind of spritz everything with some cool water to kind of just keep it alive and kind of happy. Not giving it a full watering, but just, again, just spritzing it off, and helping with those really super hot, dry temps that we were experiencing. This is a rough plan of how I want to plant in my beds. I made this a long time ago, months ago, after I purchased my seeds. And I didn't stick to this 100%, but close enough. I did go ahead and get the yarrow set up. I had to create 2 separate beds just for this because I did not have anything plotted out on my original drawings, but we got them in the ground. We also planted out some calendula since it was ready to go, and I split those between a couple different beds. This is the yarrow. It was not happy that next day with more heat in the forecast. Here's my apple mint. It was doing great. And then our veggies were also still going strong with that heat coming in. That's all I have for you this time, my friends. Thanks for watching. Take care, and see you next time. Please consider subscribing. We are almost to 500 subscribers.